Yay. Hello, ladies. 9 o'clock on the dot. I love it. Thank you guys for taking time tonight just to jump on. We have a few things that we just feel on our heart we wanted to pour into you guys this week in hopes that it will help encourage you. I'm actually going to have Kelly start this because Kelly is a powerhouse, and some of you guys might not even fully understand just how incredible she is at this business and the power she brings to the table. She tends to be on the quieter side, but she literally slays enrollments, promoters, samples, customers. She leads from the front. She's an effective, passionate leader. And so she's going to pour into us tonight about starting off with talking about a few things, especially sampling. I know she has so much knowledge. So if you guys have a notepad, bust it out, because what she's gonna say, I know she's gonna fly it out of her mouth, just because once she starts going, it's just that passion starts rolling. But this stuff is it's pure gold. And so I want to encourage you to take notes, because this is very applicable to what we do in our business and how you can kind of stretch it to go even further. So Kelly, if you're on, go ahead and take it away. Please tell us how, guys, can I just say it really quick? I know she might touch on this, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think she sold 19 samples this week or in June. Either way, I don't even care if it was the whole year. That's still so incredible. So what she's giving us tips on is not just good, valuable information. It's tried and true. And so get your notepads out as she starts. And then Kelly, whenever you're done, just flip it back over to me and we will wrap it up.
Okay, thanks, Jess. Hi, I'm Kelly. You guys, I want to talk about sampling. I know she just said that, but there was a major shift in my business about a month and a half ago when I started taking sampling extremely seriously. So I want to kind of do a backstory really fast on what that story was, and then what it's done for us since that happened. So the week before conference in Dallas, I just got a 400 pack because I buy them every now and again. That's how I do my samples. I get a pack on my husband's account. I make my 3 and 6 day trials. I send them out. And so that happened. And then in conference, they announced that if you got an 800 pack, you could be paid as a 200K for the next 4 months. In my mind, I'm like, shoot, I literally just spent $400 4 days ago. I haven't sold a single one of those yet. How am I going to tell my husband that I need to spend $800 to get another big pack? So I knew I wanted 200K pay. And I knew that every single time that we buy packs, you guys, that's not going to go to waste. It's not just going to sit in your pantry. You will either use it or you will sample it out. And so I told him, I was like, listen, there's a crazy promo. I can get paid as a 200K. That's massive right now for our business, because we're in momentum right now. I wanted that 200K pay. So I did it. I bought back-to-back 400 and 800 packs. And then I had literally 48 3-day sample packs sitting in my house a week later. And so I think a lot of people would be afraid of that or feel guilty about spending that money. That put a fire underneath my butt there has never been before. I tell you, when you spend $1,200 on a credit card that you probably shouldn't have, well, turns out that we should have, you get those sample packs out really, really fast. Okay, so I want to walk you guys through exactly how I do this, because I do kind of have it down to a system right now, and I'm not saying that you have to do this too, but this is what's working for me and for my team. It's very natural. It's fun. It's not repetitive. I swear, this is seriously so simple and effective. If you're on my team and this is repetitive for you, I'm sorry. But for everyone else, this is just what we do. So, basically, you guys, I had to change it up. Wait, what did I just do? Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, that's not you. Emily B., can you just unshare your screen, pretty please?
Okay. I had to change it up, you guys. So in the beginning of my business, I could just make a random post on Facebook and just say, hey, I've got 3-day trial packs available, mental clarity, energy, that whole spiel. I could just make a post and I could sell sample packs like that. After time, that stopped working for me. I might sell 1 or 2 from a post like that, but I couldn't post it that often. And sometimes when I would post that, I would have 0 people reach out. So I knew that I have literally 48 packs at my house, less if you do 6-day, which I do want to talk about. And so I started using my stories more. And I think most of you guys are gonna be like, okay, duh, like that's part of this business. You have to use your Instagram stories and your Facebook stories. But here's the thing, you guys, like I had not been in my stories for a long time. And it was over just like anxiety. It was over like the pressure of feeling to always, like needing to always be present, needing to always share my life, needing to always have like something funny to say, something relevant to say, maybe the way I looked. It's just the pressure of like needing to be present. It freaked me out. And every single time I would start it, I would give up on myself. And so this time I was like, nope, you know what? Like stories works. It's a way to share your life. It's a way to just be you and have people like relate to you, connect to you, see how you live your life. And like that is how you connect to people to do all this. So anyways, I got into my stories and I just want to say that like, I'm not very good at technology. I don't make pretty unfold stories. I'm just me in my stories. Like I, most of the time show my 3 steps, sometimes just one of them, sometimes, a boomerang of drinking my shake, like whatever, but like in some shape or form, I talk about, the 3 steps or even just like showing my arm every single day in my stories. And like people like, really, you guys, people just want you to be you. Like, you don't have to have some perfectly scripted, like, speech, planned out in your stories about all the scientific things of what Thrive does. Like, they don't care. Like, they want to see your energy. They want to see that you're actually on it every single day. They want to see what it does for you. They want to see how simple it is. Like, that's honestly all they really care about. And so I don't have anything against unfold stories at all. Like I know that works for a lot of people. For me, it was stressing me out, feeling like I had to like make pretty pictures and thing. And I was like, you know what, screw that. I'm not going to make pretty pictures. I'm just going to use Instagram the way it is. And I'm just going to start doing that. I have notes. That's why I'm looking down because I tend to go 5 million miles away. Okay, so the way I do it is like I show myself using the products. And then at some point in my slide of stories, I'll have a poll. And the poll will either say like, 3-day sample, please. And the other one is like 6-day sample, or it's like, how much is it? Or what does this do? Or like info, please, or message me, just like 2 different options that people can click on it. Because you guys, the thing is, when people are clicking on your poll, they are reaching out to you. That is them getting into your inbox, saying that they're interested without you even having to reach out. And it's easy. It's 1 tap away. So, and like the thing is with this, you guys, you can't just do this one time. I probably post a story in my poll about, or a poll in my story about having trials on hand most of the time every day. And if not every day, like every other day or like every 3 days. And I think for a while, I thought that that was going to be redundant. I thought that people would stop following me. I thought that people would think it's annoying. Like the reality is that people have to see things more than one time in order for it to click with them. Like they have to see it a lot of times usually. Like I don't know the actual statistic. I want to say it's like 7 to 15 times or something that somebody has to see something before they actually decide that they want it. So I'm honestly not afraid to put that poll out there. I put it out there. I'm not kidding, like almost probably every other day. And I just make them tap on that. Okay, so I want to talk about the 3 or 6-day option because when I got started, all I did was 3 days. I would do 3-day trials of all 3 products, capsules, shakes, DFTs, $25. And at some point, we shifted to offering a 6-day trial. And a couple of my girls on my team, I think who are on here, they kill it with the 6-day trials, you guys. And I think that sometimes we're afraid to offer it because the price is higher and you're afraid to say too high of a price because you're afraid that they're going to say no. Honestly, most of my people, when I give them a 3-day option for $25 or a 6-day option for $45, they choose the 6-day option. And that option has been like so key because here's the thing. We know most people are day 1 thrivers. And if they're not day 1, they're either day 2 or 3. But there are some people who are day 4, 5, and 6 thrivers. And so if you have those kind of people who are day 4, 5, and 6 thrivers, and they only got a 3-day trial, then there's a possibility that they're not going to feel what we feel in those first 3 days. So I do like a $5 discount for that. I don't know if I touched on that, but 3 days for $25 is what I do. And then 6 days for $45. So basically they're getting double the product, saving the $5, which a lot of people do connect those dots. And I think that also when offering 3 and 6-day trials, you guys, like it eliminates that option of them thinking that it's free. Sometimes I think that when you only post about having trials or samples or mini experiences, whatever you call them, if you just like talk about the 3-day trial, some people will be like, hey, is it free? And then it's the awkward conversation of like, oh, actually, no, it's not free. You're gonna have to pay me $25. Like it just kind of eliminates that. When you give them an option of 3 days or 6 days, they understand that like it's not gonna be free because then why wouldn't everybody choose the 6-day trial? Okay, so when they say yes, like we have the conversation, they say they want a trial, I immediately ask them if they have Venmo, PayPal, or Facebook Pay. And like, I usually just try to get that out like right in the beginning, because sometimes the awkward conversation of how do you want to pay me it feels kind of awkward if they don't immediately offer it up. And like, I've really, really been loving Facebook Pay because there's an option to just request money. You can go into your message. It's like in the info section when you tap their name. If you scroll down, it'll have a request payment. And then that way you don't have to say anything. They can just say like, hey, I'm going to set up Facebook Pay in here. Just tap the little button when I send it. You request the money. They tap on it. They fill out their info. Boom. They pay you. It's safe. You don't need their card number. It's immediate. It's secure. Oh, in Canada, you guys don't have that? Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, well, in the US, that's what we do. Okay, I'm going to keep taking this step by step. I hope this is not redundant for you, a lot of you guys. Like, seriously, this has been working so well, like, it's just crazy. So after I accept their payment, I try to go to the post office every other day, if not every single day, with their trials. And like, the reason being is I know that's a lot of driving for me. I know that sometimes I could, save a trip if I have somebody ordering the next day. But like, once they say yes, I'm so dang anxious to get that pack in their hand that I'm willing to make the trip to the post office. Even that means I'm making a couple extra trips. So as soon as I get a yes, if I have a couple in my hand, or even if I don't, I'm running to the post office. One thing I do is I put, first of all, I got mailers like this. If you guys don't have mailers, these are just like cute poly mailers on Amazon. You can get like 100 of them for $15. They're so cheap. And then I always put like a thank you card in there. And in the thank you card, all I say is, hey, message me when you get this and I'll explain how to use it. And then I always say, you're going to love, in all caps, underline, love this, because it's planting the idea they're already going to love it. And like, the reason why I do that is because like, once you start getting on a roll with selling samples, it can be sort of like, you can kind of forget who you've gotten them out to if you're not being super organized. And so basically when I have out that sample, or when I have out that thank you card and it says like, hey, message me when you get this, that is literally forcing them to reach out to you to let you know that they've received their product. That way you can kind of work with them one-on-one on exactly how to use it. So I don't ever like write out instructions in this thing. Like, I always make them contact me first when they get it. And then the last thing I do is I post about getting samples out. So I don't know what it is about it. I'm sure there's a science of some sort, but like, if I'm going to the post office, I'm taking a selfie in my stories of like me holding my trial packs or in my lap. And I'm sure there is a science to it. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, people want what people want. You got to kind of think about that one. People want what people want. If they see other people are FOMO, yes. If they see people are wanting it, automatically they're like, okay, what am I missing out on? Like, people are buying this, people are trying this. Why am I not trying it too? So it creates that like kind of feeling of like, okay, she's getting these out. She's taking this seriously. Like, she's at the post office every single freaking day. Like, somebody is trying this. Why should I should be able to try this too. So I always post when I'm going. So yeah, once I get that pack, I usually just do like a copy paste of like, step 1, capsules, explain how to take capsules, wait 20 minutes. Step 2, like just very simple, a copy paste I end up sending to them. And then like the key part, you guys, is like, you really have to keep track of who has samples, what day they're on, all that stuff. Like, I love checking in with my customers, my sample customers. So day 1, usually I try to wait until about noon because I'm trying not to be like too crazy excited, but noon rolls around. I'm like, girl, how do you feel? Did you take your capsules? What did you think of your shake? How did you mix it? I do usually give them options, like ideas for mixing the shake, but I want to let them know right there, day 1, that like, I'm expecting that they're going to feel something. If they say they don't feel anything yet, then I usually just say, hey, great, I'll check in with you in a couple hours. Sometimes people on day 1, you don't notice a crazy surge of energy, but what you're going to notice is that later on in the day, you don't have that crash that you used to have. So I just kind of play it like that. Same thing, day 2, checking in. And so I use, I'm not going to say her name because she'll respond to me, but Alexa, my thing that, runs my life. I set reminders on her. Like, I'll literally be like, Alexa, remind me at noon tomorrow to check in with Amanda. And then guess what? The next day at noon, she comes on the loudspeaker in my house and she's like, hey, I'm reminding you to check in with Amanda. I'm like, oh, boom, Amanda's got a trial pack. Like, I got to make sure she's loving this. So I set notes in my phone. I have a planner where I have like the day they ordered. I asked her to remind me, like, I want to make sure I'm never forgetting to check in on those sample customers, because you guys, like, once they've tried it and they're in your inbox, and that, like, that's go time. That's the time that you really, really want to capitalize on them being on the product. We're going to talk about that in a second why. And so then it's the easy step of when they love it, and they will, you give them two options. Do you want to become a customer, or do you want to become a promoter? You can order your product either way. It's the same price regardless. The only difference is that as a customer, if you have referrals, you can get yours for free. If you're a promoter, you're going to get yours for free as well, but you're also going to get paid on those customer orders. That's all I say. I keep it so super simple. I think sometimes if you don't give them that promoter option, they don't even think about it being as an option. I never push it. If someone's like, whoa, I don't want business, I'm just like, okay, great. Let's get you in as a customer then. Like, awesome. We can get you right in. And then like with our shipping, you guys, it's so good. So last thing about that is that like, if someone is a day one thriver and they're like, wow, this is freaking gold, like I'm so hype about this, I straight up tell them, I'm like, okay, great. Guess what? We do 2-day priority shipping. So I think that if you ordered it today, I would hope it'd be at your doorstep in 2 or 3 days. If not, you're only going to have to go a couple days without thriving. Like if you order it now, it's going to be there fast. And so like, yes, I know our shipping is high. But at the same time, like I have the happiest customers from fast shipping. I'm sure you guys do too. Fast shipping is so gold, especially when it's a product like you guys know, once you try Thrive, you're obsessed with Thrive, and when you're out of Thrive, you need more Thrive and you need it fast. So fast shipping is like, boom, I want it now. Great, we're going to get it out to you. Oh, and then I also share reviews. So like I'm checking in with my customers, making sure they're feeling good, making sure that they're using it right, all those things. But like if I get a message that says like, girl, what is this? Like, what did you send me? I'm loving how I'm feeling. Wow, the energy is crazy. I didn't eat coffee today. I screenshot that and I post it in my stories. And I do that all the time. And like the reason why I do that is because, again, I don't know the statistic, but I did read it earlier. It's something like 80 to 90% of people read online reviews and trust them. And so if you are consistently showing that people are using this and that they're loving it, like they're reaching out to you, and you guys, I get the same kind of messages all the time. Like I was in another company before this and I never had customers like this who were like thanking me, who are like saying things like you've changed everything, like because of Thrive this, like I've never had the like happy customers like we have here. And so really like it's just such a blessing that we have that. It's such a crazy good thing that we have a product that is seriously so good that they're going to feel something. Like it's almost impossible to not feel something on Thrive. And so I always screenshot those messages. I post those in my stories. That way people can read from themselves. Like they don't have to just take my word for it. They can see that other people are actually loving what they're using. Okay, what time is it? I'm gonna wrap this up and I'm gonna pass it off to Jess in a second. But basically, you guys, like samples are the bread and butter of our business, and I don't think I realized that in like the middle of my business, like in the past year. Like I don't think I realized how crucial it is to get sample packs out. But I can tell you from experience that like I bet you a solid 75% of my enrollments, customer and promoter, come from sample packs. And when I'm not doing a good job at getting sample packs out, my enrollments are down. And like those are just facts. Like it's like that for a reason. And like really that should inspire you. It is so crazy good that we have something that you can get into people's hands, let them try it before they, go and order their full month, and you know that they're going to feel something. So like if any time my team member comes to me and they're like, hey, I'm struggling. Like, I feel like I can't sign customers, or I haven't got promoters in the system. Literally the very first question I ask, and my team who's on here, you guys probably know, first question I'm going to ask is, when is the last time you got a sample pack out? When's the last time? And if you don't know that time, like that's your problem. And so like at that time, I'm going to encourage you, if you don't have extra product on hand to get those trials out, get your extra product on hand. Get online right now. Get yourself a pack, a 400 pack, preferably, or at least a 200 pack, or shakes, capsules, whatever you're missing. Go online and order that. Because here's the thing, you guys, sample packs are like a constant flow of money. And I've talked about this. In my 6-day, I do send 6 shakes. But I've talked about this on a live video on the team page. But like basically, you're not going to make money from sampling. Like there's not really any profit. Like once you spend the money on your profit or on your product, the shipping and tax that you paid on it, even if you used credits to get it, the supplies that you're using to mail, the price to mail things out, you really do kind of break even. So you're not going to lose money. You're also not going to make money. That's not the point. Sampling is not one of the ways that we make money. The reason why we sample is because you're letting people try it. You're immediately putting value on the product. Here's the thing. Thrive is not a cheap product. It's not. It's a $150 product if you're doing all 3 steps. That is not cheap. We don't want it to be cheap. It's a luxury product. It's a premium product. There's a reason why it's priced so high. But you guys, if you don't have samples on hand to let people try it first, they are solely going off your word. They have nothing to go off of. They have to 100% trust you that this product is going to say what it's going to do, and they have to shell out $150 out front and offer that trust. And I'm not saying it can't be done. Of course it can. Like, we've obviously signed customers without getting trial packs in their hand first. But when you get that trial pack in that hand, it immediately puts value on our product. And then that way, when they fall in love with it and they look and they see that it's $150, they're like, well, makes sense. Like, I felt bomb on day one. Like, I had energy. Like, this is the best I ever felt. Like, people are willing to spend money, you guys, on things that work, especially when it's energy, when it's feeling better. Man, I swear, I'd probably spend $500 a month or more to feel like the way I feel right now. Like, you can't even put really a price tag on that. And so, like, I think that's why I've been so big on sampling, is because, like, do people trust me? Yeah, they trust me. I have influence. Like, I've worked this for a long time. Like, you know, I've been in the industry, but like for strangers or for anyone who is hesitant about that $150 price, great. Let me have you try this first. You're going to understand why it's a pricey product. But once you try it, like, it's a no-brainer. It's literally a no-brainer. I'll make sure I went over all my notes before I say my next thing. Okay, yeah, I guess the last thing is that I really believe that sampling is the easiest way to create momentum. If you feel like you're not in momentum right now, and you were at one point, if you feel like you've kind of lost some steam, I honestly think you should look at your sample game right now. And if it's not where you want it to be, if you're not getting multiple packs out a week, that should be your next goal. Like, if you don't have product on hand, log in and get it. I honestly believe that, like, one of the biggest reasons why our team is in mass momentum right now is because we are some sample hustlers. Like, we are getting those trial packs out, and I bet you we convert 75% at least of those sample customers to real customers or promoters. Maybe not day one, maybe not that week, but like, maybe it's like a thing where they're, hey, I'm going to get paid in 2 weeks. I'm going to get at you in 2 weeks once they've tried their trial, you know, or hey, next month I'm joining the business. Like, I've already tried this, I'm in. So, like, I really 100% believe that, like, all the momentum that we've created right now is straight from sampling. And like, that's just, it's so simple to do. And that's the last reason, like, why I push 400 packs so heavy for our new promoters. It's not for volume, you guys. It's not a selfish move. It's not for an $80 fast start payout. It's because I know that when someone's brand new and they don't know what they're talking about yet, they have pressure on how to explain the product. They feel like they need to know it all, know the science, you know, have like all these perfect methods down. They don't. If they have a 400 pack and they're using the product, they're getting their own results, and they have product on hand that they can trial out, the product is going to sell itself. I hate saying that sometimes because it sounds so cheesy, but like, truly, like, it's going to sell itself. You don't even have to open up your mouth. You could actually mess up the instructions they could figure out on their own. You could forget to check in with them, and the product is still going to sell itself. So it's the surest way. It's the easiest, least pressure way to make sure that you're starting those early connections, to make sure that your newbies feel comfortable getting the product out. Just help them get the product out. Let that product do the work. Jess, I am going to pass it off to you because I didn't want this to be an hour-long Zoom. I got really fired up about those samples. But it's just something that, like, do I place my own orders? Like, for customers? Okay, you guys, I'm going to pass it off to Jess. Jess is like my favorite person in the whole world. What's so crazy is that, like, a year ago, we didn't even know each other. And then, you know, she waltzes into a 4K retreat, and like, ever since, we've just connected. Jess is someone who, she's just like she's a special rare gem. She's got this ability to connect with everyone that she is in contact with. She lights up a room. She is just so incredible at uplifting. She's inspiring. Literally every single word that comes out of her mouth, like, I find myself just like gravitating towards more. If you guys have ever seen one of her live videos, or if you've ever met her in person, I'm sure that you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to let her take this away and fire you guys up.
Wow. Okay. First of all, thanks for the intro, because now I feel like a celebrity or something. And two, did I not tell you guys were going to be so freaking fired up, like, with notes? Because now I'm like, why the hell have I not been selling samples? So I'm so glad that you poured that into us. And I don't even care if it's an hour-long Zoom. All of that was so worth it, because I think sometimes we totally forget the power of what we have our hands on. And I love, love, love that you like kind of emphasize the product part of it. And I hope like following you, I can bring just as much passion as to the opportunity that we have, and just almost emphasize what we have our hands on as far as the business side of it, because just like she said, this is such a special premium product that we have. It's not just something we have to push. It's something that we get to share with other people. And when they experience it, they feel so much better. And it's life-changing for them. And so for me, I honestly feel like the same is with the opportunity. And so I want to dive and just talk about leadership a little bit, because I know there's probably some new people on here and they're like, oh my gosh, leadership, like that's not me yet. I don't have a team yet. And that's what I really want to get into, is because sometimes I think we look at leadership as a rank or some kind of destination, some arrival point, but leadership starts the second you push submit on that website. And I don't think we look at that. We don't really push that because that can sound intimidating. But I really want to challenge you ladies. If you're on here, you're leaders. And it doesn't matter if you haven't hit VIP yet, or you're not a 4K, or you are a 40K or whatever. That does not qualify you as a leader. And so what I wanted to share with you guys tonight, something that has been on my heart, something that I've heard and I want to pass to you, is I feel like we have our hands on something so special. I feel like I repeat myself so much because I say the same things, but it's because there's like, that's all you really can say. It's special. What we have is special. We're really creating a movement. And I just believe that if we link arms together, we can take this thing even so much further than we have. And so tonight I wanted to talk about just how this is not an individual sprint. This is a relay race. And I want to break that down to you because I think sometimes when we get into network marketing, we're doing this for ourselves or for our family, that sometimes we get kind of I focused, me, my team, how this can benefit me. And really, we are doing this together. This is a relay race. And so I heard it one time before, and I want to pass this to you, is that honestly, in a relay race, it takes group effort and group, like, what's the word? I can't think of the word right now, but like you guys have to be on the same page. And so I love this because I heard this in a sermon one time. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Christine Kane, but she came to our church one time and she talked about this, and it just hit home for me that in a relay race, she was referring to the Olympics and the American team and how she was watching it from like year 2000 to year like 2012, every 4 years. Like they were the fastest team on paper, hands down. Everyone made their bets on the American relay women's running team, whatever you call it. I'm not really like that great with sports, but like to win, because on paper they had all the speed, they had all the talent, they had everything that they needed individually and for them to take the gold. But every time that they were at the Olympics, when they would go to pass the baton to the next person, there was some kind of mix-up. And in that mix-up, that caused them to place bronze. The fastest team in the world losing out on the gold medal and settling for bronze because of the passing. And so that's what I want to talk about tonight, because I feel like sometimes we think of leadership of how much I can do, what can I achieve? And leadership is so much more than you. This is actually very little about you and what you can actually empower someone else to do. There is someone else who needs you, but you have got to be that person that pours into them and lights that fire under them and empowers them to grab the baton. So there is two parts to this, and I know I might be all over the place, but in a relay race, there's what is called an exchange zone. That's when the one runner is now in that exchange zone, has to pass it to the next runner, and that runner takes it to the next place, right? So I want to talk about this because I think when we start, like I said, we have that I mentality. How can I make some extra money for our family? How can I buy groceries? And that's okay. But I want to grow your vision bigger. I want you to know that you are sitting on miracles. You're sitting on being able to move mountains in people's lives and in your own lives. And so I want you to just think bigger. How can this be such a bigger opportunity for me? And so if we can refocus from what this can do for me and what I can do for someone else, you're going to realize realize the power that you hold in this opportunity. And so in the exchange zone, that's when you are able to pass it to the next person. Now, if you're not the effective leader that you need, you will hold on to that baton way too long and never pass it. And that person that needed to grab it will never be able to grab it because you are holding on way too long. At the same time, if you're the person trying to receive the baton and you're not in that place that to grab it, you also won't be able to get to that next stage in the race. And so that's why I wanted to come into this and say, this is a team effort. We're in this together. When we say we're grinding this together, when we're linking arms, that means I have a baton. And when I grabbed that baton from M, it was my responsibility to empower someone else behind me. And you know what? I did. I passed that to Shay. And Shay was like, you know what? I grabbed that. And because she was self-developing, because she was growing her mindset, because she was running at the pace she needed for her business, she was in the exchange zone at the right time. And she was able to grab that. And now she is in a race. And she's able to hand that back to the next girl. And that girl's going to be able to. You know what happens when you can be in a race together on the same page in the right time, doing things that are going to empower the person behind you? Girl, you're not just going to change your life. You're going to change lives to come. A legacy starts. You'll die one day and your name will still be remembered from the empowerment and the movement and the miracles and the mountains that you move. So this isn't just jump on your social media and look cute for a day. This is something that you have the power to lift people up in. And so I want to encourage you as a leader, don't hold on to your baton too long. Your job here is not to be cute and get a lot of likes. Your job here is to offer this opportunity to people who need to grab that baton from you. And when you can have that in your hand and you can develop that leadership skill and you can rise up to that place that you can then pass it to the next person, guess what? You're in that race and you guys can get to your end destination together, not by yourself. But see, America, they had all the talent. They had all the speed. They were able to, so let me relate this to business. Let me put this a little more business. Like, they were mass enrollers. They were high followed on Instagram. They had 10K plus followers. They had 500 likes. They had presets that were beautiful. They had everything, but they weren't able to pass the baton. So that's what I want to encourage you guys today. You can be a mass enroller and never become a leader. I don't want to get to the end of this and be like, damn, I enrolled a crap ton of people and I have not made an impact. I haven't changed lives. I haven't changed my life. You are a miracle looking for a place to happen. You are literally sitting on your own breakthroughs and you're looking in this world for that place to unravel. And I'm here to tell you, you're sitting in it. This is it. We're in the most blessed opportunity there is. We have our hands on gold. We are able to literally breathe life into people through our products and through our business opportunity. We have watched this shift from something so insignificant as a network marketing company to a movement of women who are changing the game. Guys, there's books with your name on it. If you're in this meeting, I hope you know that there are breakthroughs that you're gonna have that are like so much bigger than this network marketing, right? There's literally houses that will house battered women that you will start because you were able to build up yourself into the leader you were meant to be. So I wanted to let you know, because sometimes I think what happens is we can get into this mentality of it's about me, and then we grow a team and we're like, oh, I'm a leader, so let me lead from the front. And then there's this shift that happens at every stage. And you got to realize you might be in a shift right now, or you're about to enter a shift. And when that shift happens, you're going to be like, wait, I no longer need to be the leader in the front. I might have to be the leader that's in the back of the line pushing people. But if you can push someone into their purpose, girl, you made impact that has your name on it that's going to last so long. Don't hold yourself back. I want you to look at your team members and say, this isn't my competition. This is the very person who's going to put me to the next level. When you can start to look at that, there's no comparison. There's no jealousy. There's no just getting down on yourself when your enrollments are not as low, because you are made to rise up to that occasion and pass it to the next one. So I just want to leave you on that to encourage you guys. We're in this together. We are in this together. You have people already on your team or who are going to be coming into your organization who need you to be the leader you need to be so that you can pass that at the proper time. That exchange zone is waiting on us. We have something special and we need to bring people into this opportunity that we can pass it to so that they can pass it to someone who can pass it to someone who can pass it to someone. This is not an individual sprint. It is a relay race. And I am proud to be on this race with a hell of a group of women who are just game changers. You guys, your mentality is so strong. If you feel like you're doing this business alone, it's time to link arms with someone, whether that's a sideline sister, like Kelly said, where I am so thankful for my sideline sisters, whether that's someone in your actual team, it doesn't matter. You were made to be somebody. It's time to step into your position because someone's waiting in that exchange zone and they need that pass. So be the leader that you need to be so that you can grow up new leaders. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys tonight, just from that other perspective. We have amazing products, but we also have an amazing opportunity, and you're an amazing person. Stop looking left and right. Stop dumbing this down. This is a big opportunity for you, and it's going to build you to the person you need to be. We're not just looking for you to be really cool at the end. We want you to be an effective, impactful leader that can literally change people's lives. And so I just wanted to pour that into you. Kelly, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom about the samples. Guys, we have, if that didn't light a fire in you, nothing will. So let's go this week. Let's get our samples out. Let's change people's lives, how they feel, get them out of the bed, get them going again, and really take pride in what we're doing. So I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on, and we will talk later. Bye, guys.